Welcome to AI Day for the public sector industry. We are so excited to have everyone tuning in online. You are all trailblazers, leaders and pioneers in government. Whether national or local agencies, educational institutions, or public health, you're bringing innovation and transformation to your industry. Today, we're here to motivate you, educate you, and inspire you. But before that, we want to thank you. Thank you to our trailblazers, our customers, our partners, and our communities. And if you're tuning in to Salesforce Plus for the very first time, thank you for joining us on this incredible journey. When we founded this company, we brought in a new technology model, a new business model, and a new philanthropic model. That's what our 1-1-1 model is all about, dedicating 1% of our equity, 1% of our time, and 1% of our products to giving back. And globally, we've been able to give back more than $621 million in grants to nonprofits and NGOs. 8.1 million hours of volunteerism has been accomplished by our employees, and 54,000 nonprofits and NGOs are running on our service for free. And probably the greatest thing is that we have inspired 17,000 other companies to join us in our 1-1-1 model. We are proof that you can do well and also do good. Our leaders, our employees, are doing so much to take our customer relationships forward, especially with this incredible technology that you're going to learn about today. 24 years ago, we never anticipated that we'd be here, seeing this incredible growth. We had a very strong Q1, where we delivered $8.25 billion in revenue, and we're on track to deliver nearly $35 billion in revenue this year with a 28% margin. That's quite something. We're a leader in philanthropy, a leader in innovation, and a leader in culture, all while being one of the fastest growing software companies in the world. We are also proud to be 100% net zero, and we want to help everyone on their journey to get to net zero. At Salesforce, it always comes back to our core values and how we are living those values each and every day in our company and in our communities. Our values guide everything we do, from trust to customer success and innovation to equality and sustainability. And today, trust and innovation are critical parts of what we're doing with generative AI. AI fuels our primary vision here at Salesforce, to help every government entity connect with their customers in a whole new way. And of course, with a foundation of trust. What do we mean by that? We want to introduce new technologies with trust built in so you can modernize government for everyone, both customers and employees. And to do that, let's take a look at where our AI capabilities are today. Now, we're not new to AI. We've been pioneering AI for CRM with Salesforce Einstein for almost a decade. This is our native AI baked into every product, delivering more than 1 trillion predictions a week to our customers. There's no company that comes close to what we're doing in customer relationship management with AI. This is Einstein. This is AI for CRM. To do all of this innovation, it starts with investing in world-class talent, researchers, data scientists, data engineers. We've invested in our in-house AI research, and to date, we have 227 AI research papers published and 300 AI patents. We have also acquired great AI innovators like RelateIQ and Prediction.io. From building Einstein to inventing new technologies such as auto feature engineering, auto feature selection, and auto model selection, we saw where the world was heading, and we knew we needed to invest deeply in large language models, or LLMs for short. And for all you developers, part of that investment is our development of 5 LLMs and 2 transformer libraries. Simply amazing. We're proud to offer not only the world's #1 CRM, but the world's #1 AI CRM for government. AI can be enabled in every app and every workflow, all with trust, security, privacy, scale, and ethics at the core. Across sales, service, marketing, and analytics, we are already helping our customers maximize their return on investment, deliver fast time to value, and innovate faster with low-code or no-code capabilities. We do this work across 12 different leading industries, and today, we're diving into public sector. Our customers across national, local agencies, educational institutions, and public health are experiencing the transformative power of CRM. Now, every government leader I talk to is excited about how generative AI will transform the way governments engage with their customers. Research shows that 39% of working hours in public sector can be augmented and enhanced with AI and automation, ultimately improving productivity. Gen AI can change the way government employees work by helping them work more efficiently from case summarization through suggested responsive. It's the technology of any lifetime, and it's coming at a pace that we've never seen before. It took ChatGPT just 2 months to reach 100 million users. That's faster than any other recent technology innovation we can think of. It's the fastest growing consumer product of all time. But it's not just a technology for consumers. Just think about how powerful AI could be in the public sector. The use cases are endless. From declassification work, to preserving native languages, to augmenting case management workflows, there is something there for every agency. This is a new innovation cycle, and every government agency, every educational institution needs to create an AI strategy. But they need to create this strategy with the tenets of trust and transparency at the core, because there's a trust gap with this powerful technology. In fact, there's been a surge in government hearings and reviews on AI. Governments have expressed concerns on how AI might impact services like healthcare, insurance, and employment. For government organizations, security, trust, transparency are of the utmost importance. And it's important for constituents too. 42% want more transparency around how data is being used by governments. Privacy, hallucinations, data control, bias, toxicity. These are technical terms associated with AI. And while we all want to move forward rapidly and have greater productivity, we also need trust. Salesforce is actively participating in discussions to advance trusted AI with organizations such as the U.S. National AI Advisory Committee. We are supporting continued progress on the EU AI Act and the long-standing AI work of the OECD. We hope to help governments close the gap because we're in a new era of trust. That's why we're bringing you Einstein, a trusted enterprise AI built for CRM. It starts with the new Einstein Trust Layer, allowing all of our applications to harness generative AI with a foundation of trust and privacy for your most sensitive data and workloads. As customers are preparing for generative AI, they must bring their data together. Data Cloud is doing just that and has become our fastest growing cloud ever, bringing real-time automation hyperscale to power amazing personalized experiences. We know you'll need access to different large language model capabilities, inside and outside of Salesforce. We designed our open ecosystem to let you do just that. To tell us more, please welcome Patrick Stokes.
Thanks so much. Hi, everyone. I'm going to walk you through exactly how we do this at Salesforce. Now, to do that, we're going to get started with the question I hear from all of you all of the time. How do I trust generative AI? And perhaps more importantly, how do I achieve the productivity gains from generative AI while protecting my most important asset, my data, and my customers' data? Today, we know how to do this because we know where all of our data is. Our data is stored in databases, it's stored in files, it's stored in spreadsheets. Now, what all of these things have in common is they have an inherent sense of location. We put data in a particular database, and within that database, we choose the table and we choose the field. And if it's going to a file, we're choosing where the file is. There's always this sense of location to it. And on top of that location, we're able to install access controls or permissions. So I can say that one particular person in my organization can have access to this piece of information in this field, but this other person cannot. But in AI, it's completely different. In large language models, it's different because data isn't really stored, it's learned. And that's a very different concept. Let me give you an example. If I asked all of you what an apple is, you'd probably be able to tell me. But if I asked you to point to the location in your brain where the data about an apple is stored, you wouldn't be able to do that. And that's because you don't really store data about an apple in particular. Instead, what you're doing is your brain learns properties about an apple, and you're collectively taking all of those properties and using them to identify an apple. So for example, you know that an apple is round, you know that an apple grows on trees, you know that an apple is red, but also sometimes green. It's this collection of different properties and different patterns that you bring together that define what an apple is. But because of that, there's no one location we can point to create those access controls on top of that. So what are we going to do? How are we going to solve that problem? Well, the good news is Salesforce has been solving problems just like this since 1999, helping enterprises use their data while also protecting it. More than 20 years ago, you came to us and said, I can't possibly move my entire business into the cloud. I need to protect my data, and the only way to do that is to keep everything on premises. We said, no, we can help you. We introduced multi-tenancy in our core sharing model, and we showed you how we can put all of the permissions and access controls on your data to protect it. Not long after, in 2016, when we made our first foray into AI with Einstein, we started building predictive models. We showed you how we can train those models without ever blending customer data across customers, because your data is your product, it's not ours. And today we're doing the exact same thing with generative AI. But how are we doing it? Well, it all starts with a prompt. Now, a prompt is just a question. It's the question that we're going to ask the LLM or ask the AI. And you've probably all done this before. If you've opened up ChatGPT, you've had this experience. You ask it a question. Well, the quality of the response you're going to get is directly correlated to the quality of the question. So let's pretend I'm an investment manager and I'm inviting my client Lauren to discuss some of our investment services. If I'm a salesperson, this might be something that I have to do dozens or maybe a couple hundred times a day. It's going to take a lot of time. So I'd like to be able to improve that workflow by getting an email generated for me. So I'm going to ask a large language model for some help. Now I'm going to get a generation or a response back, a generated email. And this email is two things at the exact same time. First, it's pretty darn amazing what a large language model can return from very little, a simple prompt. I'd like you to write me an email. And it kind of understands some context from that. And I'm able to get this pretty impressive email. But the second thing that this email is it's entirely unusable. It's unusable because there's very little context here. It doesn't understand my business. It doesn't understand my products or my customer. This kind of looks like those LinkedIn recruiting messages we all get. Just not very usable, not something I'm likely to reply to. So how do we fix this? Well, we fix it by adding more context, by writing a better prompt. The good news is Salesforce has a ton of context about your business. Across your CRM, across sales, service, commerce, marketing, and in Data Cloud. We know how your business runs. We know your products. We know your customers. We know your workflow and all of your metadata. And all of that engagement data is streaming in. Today, Data Cloud is processing over 30 trillion transactions per month. So what if we could connect all of that data to the large language model? Now, I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, great, I need to train the model to understand my business so I can get a better response. But that's the trick. You don't actually need to train the model. You just need to go back to that prompt. So what if instead of a simple prompt like, I'm an investment manager, what if we started adding more context? So let's add some context about me. I'm Patrick Stokes. I'm an investment manager at Cumulus Bank. Let's add a little bit of information about my business, about my customer, Lauren Bailey. She's been a customer for 7 years. Let's add some real-time data. Now, I'm sure you've all seen how large language models are only trained on data that's up to a year old, but we can add real-time data in this. Now, if we add all of this into our prompt, let's take a look at what we're going to get this time. Now, we get a much, much better response. But we have two problems, two things that we still need to solve. First, we have PII data in here, so we need to mask that. We don't want that personally identifiable data about Lauren going back into the model. We don't want that to be learned, so we're going to mask it. Now let's take a look at our generated email. I can take this and immediately start using it. And if I could do this a couple dozen or a couple hundred times a day, this would dramatically improve my workflow as a salesperson. But remember, we had two problems. You see, I've got a bunch of information about my business here, and I want to protect this. I need to know where it's going. And that is precisely why I'm so excited to announce the launch of the Einstein Trust Layer. The Einstein Trust Layer creates separation. It separates all of your CRM data from the large language model. It enables you to securely blend all of the context found in your CRM and Data Cloud into a prompt in order to get a generative response in a safe way. And it does that using a number of methods like secure data retrieval, dynamic grounding, masking, which we just saw, toxicity detection, auditing, and zero retention. So let's take a look at exactly how that works. Follow the flow of data that you see on the screen, and you'll notice we start in our CRM apps. Now, you may have noticed before that the prompt we wrote was pretty long. In fact, it was longer than the email itself. Now, you don't want your users writing prompts that take longer to write than the email that we want to get generated. Well, the good news is you don't have to. Salesforce creates those prompts for you. That's the magic of how this works. And so it starts from our CRM applications. Imagine we were in Sales Cloud looking at an opportunity and we wanted to generate an email by just clicking a button. That button is going to take the prompt and it's going to securely retrieve data. It's going to retrieve data from your CRM, from Data Cloud, or from external systems via MuleSoft. And it securely blends all of that data in a process called dynamic grounding. Then we're going to mask all of the PII data just like you saw before. And finally, we're going to send the fully compiled prompt out to our large language model via our secure gateway. Now hold on to that secure gateway thought for a few moments because we're going to come back to it. Okay, so we're going to hit a large language model and we're going to get a response. Our prompt has now turned from a prompt to a full generation, and we're going to start our path back to the applications. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to check the response for toxicity, and then we're going to create an audit trail. So we're going to audit it, take some metadata about what the prompt was, who the user was, what the context was, and we're going to store all of that in an audit trail that we can go back and look at later. And then finally, we're going to take that generated response and hand it back to our application. So the user experience isn't writing a prompt, it's clicking a button. This all happens transparently, and the user simply gets a perfectly usable email that's ready to go. Now let's think back to the secure gateway I mentioned before. We need that so we can build all of this in an open way. Because we may need to use different large language models depending on the use case, since many customers have different data residency requirements for their data. So there's three ways to do that. The first is with our shared trust architecture, which is a way to access large language models across the internet. We pioneered this with our incredible partner OpenAI, where we're hitting their secure gateway without ever having any of your customer data stored outside of Salesforce. But you can also host models inside of Salesforce. So if you want to bring models directly into Salesforce and host them in our private VPC, you can do that as well. And finally, if you're already making investments in your own models, you can host those in your own infrastructure via our BYOM, or Bring Your Own Model capability, and connect them via Amazon SageMaker and Vertex AI. So 3 different deployment strategies. Now let's dive into a demo and show you how to build these prompts, how Salesforce is building these prompts, and how you all can build these prompts as well. To show us how, please welcome Elizabeth Marquis. Over to you, Liz.
Thanks, Patrick. Patrick just showed us the power of prompts to generate highly relevant content. But creating these prompts is time-consuming. Now, rather than having users write those prompts, what if the prompts were created for them? What if every admin were a prompt engineer? Well, now they can be with the new Prompt Studio. From here, you can select the type of prompt you want to create and the place where you would like your prompt to appear. These prompt templates come with a lot of foundational work already complete, so they're easy to use. We have email to help you generate personalized emails to your customers, field population to help you generate data fields like descriptions, and the sidebar gives you suggested actions like getting important leads. But don't forget, we're building this to be extensible so that you can use these prompts from anywhere, like in Flow and Apex. All right, Let's get started with an email. We give the template a name and add a description. This takes us right into Prompt Studio, where you can create a prompt to generate emails to fit the specific needs for your organization and industry. Here, we can set the language, the style, and even the LLM provider that we would like to use. With the Einstein trust layer, it's easy to create the perfect prompt, and you can focus your time on customizing. Let's do it. What makes the prompt builder special is that it has access to all of your metadata and allows you to ground the prompts directly with your CRM data. Here, we have user and contact, and it integrates with Data Cloud. This allows you to personalize the offer delivery method to your customer's preferred channel. Once you're ready to test your prompt, you can select a record from the dropdown and then generate a response. First, you get to preview the prompt with all those fields populated from Andrea's record. This is how we verify the data that is used to create this prompt. And when you click Generate, boom, just like that, the Einstein trust layer has generated a response. You can see that this response is personalized with the contact and user info. The Einstein trust layer has given this a toxicity rating of harmless. This is the powerful capability that enables you to become a pro at prompts in no time. Now that it's ready, let's activate this prompt. It's that easy to build out these experiences with Prompt Studio. And with that, back to you, Patrick.
Thanks, Elizabeth. It is amazing to see the power of a prompt. So you might be thinking, where do the prompts go? Well, where they go is into our applications. And that's because Einstein drives productivity across your entire company with productivity for any workflow. For creating prospecting emails for sales reps in Sales GPT, or knowledge responses for service reps in Service GPT, or creating landing pages for marketers in Marketing GPT. For writing product descriptions for Commerce Pros in Commerce GPT, or for helping everyone explore data in Tableau GPT, and for summarizing across your entire company in Slack GPT. So let's dive into another demo and show you exactly how all of this comes to life and how these prompts are used across the entire platform. To show us how, please welcome Sanjana Paryalekar. Over to you, Sanjana.
Thank you, Patrick. Hi, I'm Sanjana, and every day I talk to customers who are excited about generative AI. But you know what makes them totally fall out of their seat? Generative AI in the workflows they use and rely on. I'll take you through 3 of my favorites: sales, service, and productivity. Sales reps spend day in and day out communicating with customers and prospects over email. But crafting personalized outreach emails is time-consuming and tedious. The Einstein trust layer is built into the sales user experience, so every rep can get assistance in writing these emails and automatically bring in the right context from their CRM data. The prompt template surfaces as a simple button for a sales rep to write an outreach email. It's so simple for the sales rep and so powerful behind the scenes. Each prompt passes through the trust layer, so you can ensure your data is safe and no data is ever retained outside of Salesforce. Now, this is especially important when dealing with sensitive data, like strict privacy regulations, or medical information, or credit card numbers. Sales reps also spend their days on the phone with customers. And you know what's even more tedious? Writing call summaries. The Einstein trust layer is in this daily workflow too. And after a call is done and transcribed, it can be automatically summarized into the key purpose, action items, and the moments that were discussed. So sales reps can now spend more time talking to customers, closing business, and worry a whole lot less about managing all those mundane tasks. So you've seen what a game changer the Einstein trust layer is for sales. What about service? Let's take a look. Every service rep cares about improving their resolution time. And every minute spent searching for knowledge articles, product recommendations, and writing summaries is a minute that's taken from helping another customer. The Einstein trust layer is built directly into this flow of work for every single service rep. So as they have conversations with customers, replies are then recommended to them that are personalized to their end customer. And as that conversation goes on, the service rep also gets assistance with the next best offers for the customer, so they don't need to search for what's new in their product catalog. And the rep is always in control, so they can accept, edit, or decline these recommendations. Now, next best action has been a hit with customers for the last several years. But pairing generative replies with predictive product recommendations saves reps so much time and makes for happier customers. Now, once the case is closed, reps also need to summarize their cases. And the Einstein Trust Layer can help here as well with the click of a button. This is a simple step, but an important one. With this new knowledge article now in our knowledge base, similar cases in the future can be automatically deflected, saving our reps even more time. So service agents can now spend more time helping customers, whether that's a patient or an account holder, and worry a whole lot less about managing the outcome. So we've seen what a game changer the Einstein Trust Layer is for sales and for service. But what if we need to leverage the collective expertise of an entire organization to drive better collaboration and productivity? That's where Slack comes in. This is a case-warming channel where we've brought in a variety of people across the organization to solve a particular case. And this channel is equipped with rich detail from Service Cloud about the case itself, the account, and the source of the issue. But it also has an automated workflow to update this case in other systems like Jira. Great service isn't just about finding knowledge, it's about creating it. So as the chat goes on, various folks can jump in to provide important context that should be documented and shared to easily handle common questions, spanning everything from loyalty programs for shoppers to public health program eligibility for residents. So Einstein is at the ready, and with the click of a button, can summarize the case swarm and then post it as a knowledge article for others to benefit from in the future. Now that's how the Einstein Trust Layer is changing the game for sales, service, and productivity. Back to you, Patrick.
Thanks, Sanjana. It's awesome to see how all of these use cases are coming to life. Now, there's one last concept I want to leave you with. These LLMs and AI in general, how do they get better? How do they learn? And this is where Salesforce is different. You see, most LLMs learn from usage. When you get those responses back from ChatGPT, it might ask you, was this useful? And you give a thumbs up or a thumbs down. But with Salesforce, we do things a little bit differently. Salesforce is where you entrust not only your customer data, but also your customer outcomes. And Einstein learns not just from usage, but from your outcomes, like your deals closing in Sales Cloud, your service cases being resolved, your marketing email open rates, and having your company conversations in Slack. So for usage, when a sales email is generated or a service agent response is suggested, did they use it or did they edit it? But for outcomes, did the generated sales email close the deal? Did the marketing message reach the open rate goal? Did the service response close the case? Signals like these are unique to every company, and this ensures that every customer will develop the best models for every use case that's specific to their industry, their organization, and their task. Now, as you can see at Salesforce, we have tons of innovation happening, and we're excited to bring you even more of it in the coming months.
Thank you, Patrick. It's incredible to see how everyone can harness the power of AI, and who's ready to take all of this innovation to their organizations. Because we have hit the hyperspace button on trusted generative AI. We're innovating at the speed of trust. Generative AI is changing fast, and we're helping our customers meet the moment with 16 AI-first releases out now. We've mobilized the entire company around AI to get this incredible technology into the hands of our customers. And with all this innovation, we need everyone to be AI ready. That's where Trailhead comes in, our free online learning platform that lets anyone, anywhere, skill up on Salesforce. We have 35 AI badges on the way, plus generative AI certifications launching at Dreamforce next month. Any Trailblazer anywhere can learn to skill up for the future. And this is just the beginning of where we're going with AI. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you at Dreamforce.